Today we have the two hottest premium hybrid SUVs in the market.
And if you can't decide which one to get, be sure to watch until the end of this review.
Why must I be a teenager in love?
I've brought along the BMW X5 plug-in hybrid, which is not entirely new because the X5 has been around for some time now, but this one, it is locally assembled plug-in hybrid.
I, on the other hand, have the Volvo XC90 T8 Inscription. And unlike the X5, this is made to be a hybrid from the beginning. And it's also locally assembled at Volvo's production plant in Shah Alam.
Which makes both cars quite a bargain thanks to the hybrid tax incentive. Now, let's start with the exterior.
Both of them externally are pretty much identically spec'd. But we can all agree that the XC90 is the better looking car here.
You sure, bro?
Yeah, very much so.
This one here comes with the M Sport body kit as standard, which makes the car look so much better and much more magnificent.
I've got a problem though. What is this little fake thing going on?
Yes, they are fakes, I admit. But you don't really need air intake so big because you have got large nostrils here with huge slits top and bottom. You have enough air to cool down the engine. Now bro, check this out. BMW calls this the air curtain, which basically channels air through the bumper over here, creating an air curtain around the wheel. Together with the air breathers on the side, it reduces turbulence in the wheel arch, which in return you get better aerodynamics and better fuel consumption.
But do we really need all that custom cutouts for aerodynamics purposes? I mean, look at the car. It's sleek, it's super stylish, and all the aerodynamic elements are built into the design of the car. So what you get is this. Plus, check this out. I've got 4-hammer style LED daytime running lights. Beat that.
Yeah, I quite like that tall hammers thing going on there, which actually makes both cars very different. This one a lot sportier and the other one more elegant, I guess.
That's true, that's true.
Now, moving along to the side, I have 19-inch M Sport alloy wheels.
The Volvo comes with 20 standard, but you can also upgrade it to the 21-inch set. I also have this really nice chrome trim that says Inscription down below.
Well, I don't have a chrome trim, but I have a badge saying xDrive40e, which is how you tell that this is a plug-in hybrid. And also, you can spot this flap over here, which is the charging port, which says that it is a plug-in hybrid as well.
But bro, what is that thing on top?
Okay, that thing over there is a 600 ringgit added option for your bike. You can ignore that because I think it just ruins the entire look of the car.
Yeah, unless you're an outdoor kind of guy, don't go for that. Anything else you have?
Yes, of course, there is the very familiar looking Hofmeister kink design, a very BMW thing. Oh, another thing. The wheels at the back, they are huge. 285, 45, 19. Basically supercar profile stuff. But they just look stunted. Probably because of the rim, probably because of the wheel arch. I don't know, it's just not very nice looking.
Yeah, I don't have that kind of problem. It looks sleek front and back, they are of the same size, so yay, Volvo!
Now at the back, I've got these air blades over here. Very subtle but functional.
Well, what can I say? All I have going on here is a fine Swedish ass. That's all I'm saying.
Anyway, the X5, although it's not really new, but it's got best looking rear end in town. And check this out, I love this bumper integrated exhaust tips. The cabin of the X5 is not exactly futuristic. It's been around for some time now. In fact, it is a bit dated, I have to say. But things are where they are supposed to be, so it's all good.
The cabin of the XC90 is superb because never has a Volvo looked this good. Just check out the cabin, it's very contemporary, very stylish, and it's probably gonna age really well.
Nice looking designer kitchen you have there, Matt.
Minimalistic is the new way to go.
Yeah, kitchen. Now anyway, let's start off with the steering wheel. I've got an M Sport steering wheel, very sporty looking, very nice to hold on to. And it has got pedal shifters. Matt?
Unfortunately, I don't have pedal shifters. I don't have Tiptronic too. But to me, the steering wheel looks very safe. It's not boring. It's high in quality though. All the controls are here, it's leather wrapped. But all that said, what's more important is this thing, this fully LCD digital instrument cluster.
Well, mine is not full. In fact, it's actually half digital, half analog. You see the physical dials and needles working together with the LCD screen, which looks really good. Now, moving along to the center, I've got a 10.2-inch, very sharp head unit. But sadly, it is not a touchscreen as compared to Matt's little iPad.
Yes, speaking of touchscreen, this is a 9-inch Sensors Connect head unit with all the controls built into it, including air conditioning.
Yeah, try changing the aircon settings when you're driving. It's not easy.
Now, moving on, the center tunnel looks really beautiful, almost exquisite if you ask me. There's this crystal gear knob from Auraforce, and it's got real wooden inserts here. It's not fake wood, so try and beat that.
Yeah, I like your little 2-inch there, Matt.
It's a little more than 2-inch, please.
Yeah, mine is a lot bigger though. So this thing over here is BMW's signature. Something that you might need some time to learn to use it, but after a while you'll love it. It's so ergonomic and very clever. And of course, you get this iDrive control system to control a head unit. Yes, again, it is not a touchscreen, so everything has to be done here. It takes some time to learn, but after a while, you know how to use it. You can do it while driving without even looking onto the screen or onto the dial over here.
Oh, I have something to add. This push start, it's actually not push start, it's twist to start. And it's really nice. Check out this ribbed chrome thing around the button. It's really good stuff.
It's called diamond cut, bro.
Diamond cut.
I have to say, the seats in this X5, they are not comfortable. They call it the Dakota leather seats. Not as good as compared to the one there.
And I have to agree with GC on that. The seats here are so comfortable. It's really soft. The Napa leather is really supple. And you've got all the support you need from the seats. It's really good.
Yeah, speaking of support, I don't even have lumbar support.
Oh.
Yeah, that's quite bad. Now, storage bins. I think I've got quite enough storage bins here.
So do I, yeah.
Yeah, and all that.
Pretty good stuff.
Next, it's got a panoramic sunroof.
Yep, the panoramic sunroof here is also big, and I think it's bigger than the one in the X5.
Yes, it's actually a lot longer than the X5.
Why do you always have to go there, man?
It is! How else would it's longer?
Now, the back seat is a really comfortable place to be in. I'm sure the X5 doesn't have this because the XC90 comes with sliding seats, and it also reclines. And there's also a booster seat built right in the center of the seats for the child. Other things include touchscreen aircon controls, air vents in the B pillars, this sun blind for when the day gets really hot, real wood trimmings, and of course, the lock and unlock function. Not to mention, it's also got isofix mounts for your child seat.
It's actually quite comfortable back here in terms of space. I get quite a bit of leg room, headroom. But the seats though, they are not comfortable. As you can see, it's pretty flat and I can't recline or even slide forward or backward. So unlike the XC90, which is a lot more comfortable. I get air vents over here and on the B pillar as well. Climate control knobs and all that, not the fancy touchscreen type like the one, the XC90. Now, I get this, a 10.2-inch rear seat entertainment professional. I think that's what it's called. But one thing though, it is not touchscreen and I can't control from back here. It has to be controlled from the front. Center armrest has got a fancy cup holders. Sunscreen over here, it's nice. And yeah, that's about it. Oh, and of course, isofix points. For those who are traveling with children, especially toddlers, please use a car seat. A car seat with isofix feature is very easy to install. First, you anchor this point first, you tighten it, put the seat back down, tighten this thing, and push out this latch, point it to the isofix point, and push it in. Now you can travel with your child safely.
It's actually easier in the XC90. Because the seats recline, you can very easily anchor it to a point behind and anchor it to a mount below. Fasten it, and I'm done. Now let's go check out the third row seat. Getting into the third row seat is really easy. Simply pull on this latch here, push the seat forwards, and you're in. The only problem here is there's not enough knee room, but I guess the headroom makes do. I don't suggest anyone, especially adults, to sit in this place for long hours, but if you have a teenage son or daughter, that would be alright, I guess.
Now, this is one of the things I like about the X5. The design of the tailgate. Splits open, which you can sit on it. But the boot space itself is not very impressive because the boot floor is now higher to accommodate the hybrid batteries underneath it, which means you can only fit in 2 luggage bags and a baby stroller for your child. And of course, if you need more space, you can always fold the seats down and you can fill in quite a lot of things in here.
Why must I
Boot space is not very impressive with all the seats up, but if you fold the third row seats down, you get more space than the X5. But if you need to move your entire house, simply fold the middle row seats and you are good to go.
And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Gone were the days when we get to have big V8s in large SUVs like this. No thanks to carbon emission regulations. Engines nowadays are getting less manly.
Both the XC90 and the X5 come with a 2-litre inline-4 engine. But because Volvo believes so much in their 2-litre engines, they're not going to make an engine bigger than this one. But the good news is, they've strapped on a supercharger, a turbocharger, and 2 electric motors for massive power.
Lugging this machine around with a 2-litre turbocharged engine is just not enough. However, with an electric motor, it generates impressive power figures. 308 horsepower and 450 Nm of torque. But still, it's not as impressive as Matt's Swedish meatball.
This guy makes 407 horsepower and 640 freaking Newton meters of torque. So if I see this guy in my rearview mirror, I'd stay the crap away. It's also much more powerful than the X5. So GC Mah, you can eat my dust.
In terms of transmission, both get an 8-speed automatic gearbox, transferring power to all 4 wheels in the X5 with its xDrive system. Only the front wheels for the XC90.
Well, unlike the X5, the battery pack is actually built into the center tunnel in place of the drive shaft. On a full charge, you can get up to 40 kilometers of pure EV range, and charge time takes only about 3.5 hours.
It takes about under 4 hours to fully charge the X5, and it can only cover about 30 kilometers of pure electric distance. The batteries are located under the boot floor, which is why the plug-in hybrid X5 is no longer a 7-seater SUV. Just no space for third row seats. And it has added about 200 kilograms of weight with its batteries and electric motor. To fully enjoy low fuel consumption in the X5, you have to constantly charge the car via the charging port at home or in your office. Because I've learned it the expensive way. Well, yes, the car does charge by itself via its regenerative braking, but it's just not enough to fully charge the batteries. And if you haven't been charging the car constantly and you have been on the spirited driving spree just like me, well, you get 15.8 litre per 100 kilometer. Yes, shocking. A 2-litre engine for a 2.3-ton SUV is just too straining. So, lesson to be learned, always charge your plug-in hybrid car, which then you should be able to get 3.3 litre per 100 kilometer.
There are many ways for you to decide how you want the engine and the 2 electric motors to interact with each other. And it's all done here through this diamond cut drive mode selector. Each setting actually changes the ride height as well. What I really like about this setup is it actually makes the car feel like it has a bigger engine. There's no turbo lag because of the supercharger, and it hardly feels short of breath because of the turbochargers. Unlike the other XC90s that I've taken before, the transition between the engine and the electric motor is incredibly smooth in this particular unit. Could they have updated the system? Maybe.
People going by, I see friends shaking hands, saying how
So now, how does it drive? Can I share a little secret with you, and please don't tell Matt? Because I think I got the wrong car. You know, just like everyone else, I was just too drawn into it. It's an X5 and I love the looks of the X5. And it's a BMW plug-in hybrid, so it must be good, right? Expectation was sky high, but sadly, no. It's just not as good as I expected it to be. The seats are not great and it doesn't come with lumbar support settings to make you feel better in it. The suspension in comfort mode is a little bit too overcompensating. Well, don't get me wrong, it's very comfortable, it gets over potholes very well, but over big ones, you end up with a lot of rebound. You get a lot of vertical movement like this. And for a tall car, body roll and overcompensating suspension, it's a bad combination. So that is why I'm always on sport mode, so I get sporty driving and it can be very comfortable as well, surprisingly.
Compared to the X5, the suspension is noticeably stiffer here, and that bit honestly comes as a surprise to us. It's not terribly harsh though.
Steering wheel feels light and not too artificial, which is good, and it is good for easy maneuverability around city driving. Power delivery in this thing is very impressive, with the electric motor charging the car forward during initial acceleration, and then petrol engine will take over, propelling the car further. The transition between that two is very smooth in the X5. The power output is very sufficient. Well, then of course you get more in the twin-charge XC90.
The XC90 is also as safe as SUVs get, because in terms of safety features, this car blows the X5 completely out of the water. I get things like 7 airbags with driver knee airbag, surround view camera, lane keeping aid, blind spot monitoring system, city safety, rear collision warning and electric seatbelt tensioner. Now, let me tell you how it works. If you get into an accident, the seat belt will automatically tighten with some force to anchor you into your seat. It can be a little bit uncomfortable, but it's not as bad as getting sucker punched by an airbag, you know?
Yes, of course I get the same stuff, like airbags, parking sensors, yeah, of course. Surround view camera, yes, check. Lane departure warning, collision detection warning, yes, I have that.
I remember the first time I tried adaptive cruise control and was also in a Volvo, the V60. Back then, the system was still unrefined, but it worked nonetheless. This time though, it's almost perfect, braking and accelerating exactly the way I would myself. Really good stuff. So there's adaptive cruise control, and then there's pilot assist, which is a semi-autonomous driving system. It works like a charm as long as the system, like the camera and the sensors, can read the white lines on the road. Absolutely lovely stuff.
Head-up display, yes, I have that. One thing that I really love about the X5 is that it is really sporty and rugged. Rugged in a very good way because the suspension can take on any road conditions in KL or PJ. The build quality is solid both in and out. It can be a trustworthy car that you can take anywhere. The XC90 on the other hand feels a bit more delicate.
You're gonna hear me say this a lot of times, but for 15,000 ringgit more, you get all of the features that the BMW X5 doesn't have. 15,000 ringgit. Isn't it a steal?
People going by, I see friends shaking hands, saying how do you do?
So, what do you like about the X5?
Well, I personally love the looks of the X5 ever since it came to Malaysia, and I still think it is one of the best looking SUVs out there. I also love the steering feel and the brakes. The brakes in the X5, I have to say, is a lot better than the one in the XC90. You agree, right?
Yeah, I've got to agree with him on that.
And one very important point is that the X5 is an expensive SUV which you wouldn't mind throwing it around because this thing can take all the beating.
Is there anything at all that you don't like about the car?
Well, I have to say it's the interior because especially the seats. The seats just ruins everything. And another thing is that I was a little bit disappointed because I expected a little bit more from the drive. So I have to say, it looks a lot better than how it drives. Yeah. What about you, the XC90?
Well, to me, the Volvo is really the complete package. It looks good on the outside, the cabin feels really premium. You feel good driving it, and it's got so many safety features. Really lengthy safety features. So jam-packed with tech. There's also 4 active air suspension, all 4 unlike the X5s. Man, what can I say? There's just so many things to like about the XC90.
Really?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
nothing you dislike?
There is one thing. Like he mentioned, I cannot get used to the brakes. It feels like you're stepping on a big fat piece of sponge. You always have to second guess how much pressure you need to apply, but being a hybrid, it's kind of like that. So I guess it's a fair compromise, but yeah. That's the only thing I don't like about the car, really.
So now, the 400,000 ringgit question. Which of these SUVs is the car for you? Well, if you have been looking for that very good-looking SUV which can offer you sporty driving and at the same time accommodate your family comfortably for a long-distance drive, then the BMW X5 plug-in hybrid is the car for you.
But if you've got a bigger family and you want more comfort, so 15,000 more, guys, really, just take it and go. There is no contest. Please just take it and go. Please.
If you guys want to find out more about the all-new BMW X5 plug-in hybrid and the all-new Volvo XC90 T8 Inscription, do log on to AutoBuzz.my.
And if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos like this.
Come, I take. Hey, no. You take the X5 lah. I want the XC90. Come, bro, really. Come on, change. Bro.
For one day, can.
Okay, come.
For one day, can. Today, we have the 2 hottest premium hybrid SUVs in the market.
Oh, sorry.
Sangkut. I also have a really nice, long and thin... That's too wrong.
Can I go home now?